In China, a wedding is more than a ceremony. It's a fusion of families, a celebration that weaves together generations, traditions, and dreams. The air is filled with laughter, the aroma of festive dishes, and the vibrant colors of red and gold, symbols of luck and happiness. For the couple, it marks a new beginning, a day of hope and promise, surrounded by the warmth of family and friends. Amidst the joy stands the wedding officiant, a figure of trust and authority. They guide the couple through ancient rituals and modern paperwork, ensuring every vow is spoken and every document is signed. But what if this trusted figure, the very person meant to safeguard the union, is secretly plotting betrayal? This is the story of a wedding officiant who stole not gifts, but identities, using the trust of newlyweds to dismantle their financial security. With access to personal information and official documents, the officiant exploited the very system meant to protect love and partnership. The victims were ordinary people, teachers, workers, small business owners, each with their own hopes and plans for the future. All were focused on building a life together, never suspecting that danger could come from someone so close, on a day meant for joy. The burden of this betrayal fell hardest on women, who often manage household details and finances. Many were the first to notice something was wrong, and too often, the first to be blamed when disaster struck. Their stories reveal the hidden vulnerabilities in even our most cherished traditions, a reminder that trust, once broken, can cast a long shadow over the happiest of days. In modern China, wedding officiants are more than just ceremonial leaders. They are the custodians of both tradition and legality, standing at the intersection of love and law. To register a marriage, couples must hand over sensitive documents, ID cards, household registration books, and signed forms, trusting the officiant to file them with precision and care. This moment is often filled with nervous excitement, as couples place their future in the hands of someone they may have just met. The officiant's role is not just administrative. They are expected to safeguard personal information, ensure legal compliance, and guide couples through a maze of bureaucracy. This trust gives officiants immense power over a couple's legal and financial life, power that is rarely questioned. Most couples, overwhelmed by wedding stress and the complexity of paperwork, are relieved to delegate this task, never imagining the risks involved. Mr. Wei, the officiant in our story, understood this dynamic all too well. He marketed himself as a one-stop solution for all wedding paperwork, promising efficiency and peace of mind. Couples flocked to him, drawn by his reputation for making the process seamless and stress-free. To many, Mr. Wei seemed like an ally, a trusted guide through a confusing system. No one suspected that behind his reassuring smile, he was quietly collecting identities for his own gain. The process felt routine, almost mundane, but it opened the door to devastating fraud. Mr. Wei's access to personal data allowed him to orchestrate schemes that would haunt couples long after their wedding day. The very person meant to bless their union became the architect of their undoing, a reminder that trust, once broken, can turn the happiest day into a lifelong nightmare. Mr. Wei's scheme was chillingly simple, but devastating in its precision. First, he would greet couples with warmth and authority, assuring them that he needed their original IDs and household registration booklets for official marriage registration. He insisted on collecting every document, sometimes even asking for extra signatures, just in case. Couples, trusting the process, handed over their most sensitive information, unaware that Mr. Wei was already plotting his next move. With these documents, he secretly applied for loans and credit cards in their names, using fake phone numbers and email addresses so the banks would never reach the real couples. In one case, a newlywed couple received a congratulatory call from a bank, only to realize months later that they owed thousands on a card they never opened. Mr. Wei would delay filing the marriage paperwork, blaming endless bureaucracy, while he drained their credit behind the scenes. Some couples waited weeks, even months, for their certificates, growing anxious but never suspecting the real reason for the delay. Once the fraud was complete, he returned the documents and marriage certificate, and the couples, grateful to finally be married, rarely questioned the odd timeline. This cycle repeated with dozens of couples, each left with hidden debts, their dreams quietly sabotaged. The fraud was a carefully orchestrated process, not a single act. Each step calculated, each victim chosen for their trust. Newlyweds began their lives together, unaware of the financial disaster looming. Honeymoons cut short, plans for a new home suddenly impossible. Mr. Wei's operation was a Ponzi scheme built on stolen futures, each couple's happiness fueling the next deception. The betrayal was as systematic as it was personal, leaving not just financial scars, but broken trust and shattered beginnings. The warning signs were subtle, easily missed in the excitement and chaos of a wedding. But looking back, the red flags were there, hidden in plain sight, lost in the confetti and celebration. Mr. Wei insisted on holding original documents for weeks, a rare and unnecessary step. Most officiants only need copies, and only for a short time. He often collected documents from several couples at once, claiming it was more efficient. This made it harder for anyone to track their own paperwork. When brides like Malin asked about delays, he offered smooth reassurances and plausible excuses, blaming government backlogs, holidays, or missing signatures. Social pressures made confrontation difficult, especially for women tasked with wedding logistics. Questioning the officiant risked disrupting the harmony of the event. Complaining risked appearing ungrateful or causing family tension. Many couples chose silence over conflict, hoping things would resolve on their own. Mr. Wei's reputation, positive reviews, community ties, and glowing testimonials made suspicions seem unwarranted. He was trusted by elders and respected in the community. Couples trusted not just a person, but a carefully crafted image. His professionalism and charm masked any doubts. The red flags, delays, vague answers, unusual requests were dismissed as minor hurdles, not warnings. Friends and family often reassured the couple, normalizing the oddities. The emotional state of newlyweds, overwhelmed, distracted, eager to please, made them easy targets for manipulation. Trust, in this case, became the perfect cover for deception. The warning signs were there, but in the whirlwind of wedding joy, they were all too easy to ignore. The scheme began to unravel quietly, with a single rejected loan application that left a young couple confused and embarrassed. Soon, more victims discovered mysterious debts in their names, credit cards maxed out, loans they never took, and their credit scores in ruins. Banks refused to help, insisting the documents were authentic. Panic and disbelief spread as couples compared stories. The shock turned to anger when they realized the common thread: Mr. Wei, the officiant at their weddings. United by betrayal, they marched to the police station, filing reports and demanding answers. Their collective voices could no longer be ignored. The investigation exploded. Police raided Mr. Wei's office, uncovering a trove of wedding records, stolen identities, and fraudulent accounts. The evidence was staggering. Dozens of lives entangled in his web of lies. The once trusted officiant was unmasked as a master manipulator. His calm facade crumbled under the weight of evidence and confrontation. The perfect lie shattered, destroyed by the courage and unity of its victims. The community's trust, once broken, began to heal. Justice began not just with police action, but with victims finding each other, sharing their pain and speaking out, turning their suffering into strength. The fallout hit women hardest. For many, the shock of discovering their identities had been stolen was only the beginning of a long ordeal. In countless families, Brides were the ones who managed finances and paperwork. When the fraud was revealed, suspicion and blame fell on their shoulders, sometimes from in-laws, sometimes from their own partners. Accusations, subtle or direct, added layers of shame and guilt to the already crushing financial stress. One bride, Li Wen, described how her husband's family stopped speaking to her, convinced she had been careless or even complicit. Women became the primary fighters to clear their names, forced to navigate endless paperwork, skeptical bank officials, and indifferent police. May, a newlywed, spent months visiting offices, only to be told again and again that nothing could be done. The emotional toll was immense. New marriages strained under the weight of mistrust and disappointment. Dreams of a fresh start were replaced by arguments and sleepless nights. A ruined credit score meant postponing buying a home, starting a family, or even finding stable work. For some, the future they had planned together seemed to slip further away with every passing day. These women were victims twice over, first of the crime itself, and then of the unfair blame that followed. Yet in the face of heartbreak and injustice, many found strength in each other, sharing their stories and fighting for justice together. Mr. Wei's story is a warning, but it's also a practical guide for every couple starting a new chapter. Always verify your officiant's credentials directly with the government registry. Don't rely on online reviews or word of mouth. For example, use official websites to confirm their license is valid and up to date. Never hand over original documents for long periods. Instead, provide photocopies with visible watermarks. Use a watermark app or write "copy" in bold letters to prevent misuse. Clearly mark all copies with "for marriage registration only." This makes it harder for anyone to use your documents for other purposes. Follow up on your paperwork personally. Ask for a timeline, set reminders, and visit the bureau to confirm your registration is complete. Don't just take someone's word for it. If your officiant resists these steps or gets defensive, treat it as a red flag. Trust your instincts and don't hesitate to seek another professional. After your wedding, monitor your credit regularly. Set up free credit alerts and check for unfamiliar accounts or bills. Early action can stop identity theft before it starts. If you spot anything suspicious, contact your bank or credit bureau immediately. Quick reporting can limit the damage. Store your important documents in a secure place, like a locked drawer or a home safe. Share access only with trusted people. With a few simple, practical steps, you can protect your new beginning and enjoy peace of mind for years to come. Mr. Wei's arrest was just the beginning for his victims. The road to recovery was long and uncertain. Clearing fraudulent debts required endless paperwork, hours on the phone, and constant follow-ups with banks and police. Many victims found themselves explaining their situation over and over, reliving the trauma each time. Rebuilding credit took months or even years. Some couples had to postpone buying a home or starting a family. One couple, Li Hua and Chen, shared how they were denied a mortgage because of the fraudulent loans in their names. The emotional scars ran deep. Trust in professionals, and even in loved ones, was shaken. Some victims questioned how they could have missed the warning signs, blaming themselves or each other. Relationships were tested by blame and stress. Some couples, like May and June, found strength in facing the crisis together, attending counseling and support groups to rebuild their bond. Others struggled under the weight. For some, the pressure led to separation or divorce, as the pain became too much to bear. For women, regaining trust at home was a slow, painful process. Many turned to friends, family, or professional counseling for support, learning to set boundaries and rebuild confidence. Healing meant more than clearing debt. It meant rebuilding faith in themselves and others. Through community workshops, therapy, and mutual support, many victims found hope and began to dream again. This story is not just a warning. It is a testament to the power of resilience, the strength of community, and the courage to speak out, even when it's difficult. The victims found strength not only by sharing their stories, but by listening to one another, building a network of trust and hope in the face of betrayal. Their unity brought justice, exposed the fraud, and proved that when people stand together, even the most cunning deception can be overcome. In a digital world, our best defense is open communication, vigilance, and the willingness to ask questions, even when it feels uncomfortable. Awareness is not fear, it's protection. It's the shield we offer ourselves and each other. Share these lessons with friends and family, especially those facing major life events. Let no one walk into the unknown alone. An informed community is a safer one. When we look out for each other, we create a shield no fraudster can penetrate. The women who were once blamed found empowerment in solidarity, transforming shame into strength and isolation into unity. By telling their story, they offer a shield to others, a living reminder that no one is truly alone, and that every voice matters. We honor their experience by learning from it, by standing together, and by protecting each other. Let us be vigilant, let us be compassionate, and let us never underestimate the power of a united community. The shield we build together is stronger than any threat we face.